Well, it's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock here in the UK. It's whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are. And it looks like I have lost my guest again this evening. Richard Cole, hello, how are you? Good day, friend. It's a challenge tonight. So I spoke to our guest yesterday, just making sure everything was okay. But it looks like we may have some issues again. So maybe they say third time's a charm. So tonight's going to be a brief one. I will waffle for a little bit just in case he turns up. Weird thing is, last week, just as we finished the live whilst we were waiting, he jumped on. It was a timing issue, but then we did have some technical issues with his microphone, so we didn't go back live. So, which is why we pushed it back an hour this week. But hey ho. It's the joys of going live, and I like to be kept on my feet. There we go. But we've got sound and everything, so all is good. Guys, hope you're all doing well. Kaz Wiley, whoops. I know, Kaz, how are you? Yeah, that's it. It's the problem with these Americans. They can't tell the times the same way as us Brits do, which is why most time is set by Greenwich Mean Time, I believe. So what we're going to do, we're going to waffle for 10, 15 minutes and see what happens. I'm open to any questions, and we can make this interactive with you guys as well. Richard Cole, can you adjust the light in the back? It's giving me a seizure. No, not really. Oh, there we go. Andre is here as well. Oh, yeah, we've got a flickering LED, haven't we? Let's just consider that light adjusted. There we go. Live TV. Hello, everybody. Now, guys, here's the thing that we're gonna maybe look at. Oh, there we go. Jason Morgan is here as well. Oi, oi, Savaloy. So each week we try and bring you an expert stage hypnotist, and this week we've just got me. But we might get our guest to come on board in a few moments' time. Who knows what could happen? But every month we always try and mix it up a little bit as well. We've had a couple of people that have done stage stuff, but are slightly different as well. What I don't want to do is move this down the hypnotherapy route, because this channel has always been about stage hypnosis or performance hypnosis. However, we are going to pull on some people as well that understand the importance of performing and how that affects and helps your therapy business as well. Darren Fraser is here as well. Once again, it looks like we've got a full house. We've got everyone but our guest. But hey ho, it's the things that we'd like to do to challenge ourselves. How is everybody doing? Kaz, how was the firewalk and glass walk? I saw on Facebook there was a hypnotist mastermind here in the UK, which looked absolutely amazing. And it was great to see that as well. Andre, this is what it's like being a hypnotist. You need to be ready for anything. Absolutely right. That's why when I started these live feeds, it was the closest thing I could get to having that same feeling as a show, because anything can happen, such as lights flickering, guests not being turning up, such as no volunteers, and it does teach you to kind of duck and dive and be ready for anything that the live throws at you. It looked loads of fun. Weirdly, I was going to do a glass walk a couple of years ago. I even got a big crate at home still that is filled with glass ready for one. But I never got around to finding the time to do it. As with most things, sometimes it just gets put onto the back burners. How are things going with the book as well? Kaz Wiley, guys, if you haven't bought her book yet, she has a phenomenal book on kind of sexuality and womanhood and stuff like that, stuff that makes some guys like me a little bit uncomfortable, but then that's what the book is about. And I believe, Kaz, you've got a course coming up which would be brilliant for a lot of hypnotherapists, which is the Sexual Freedom Hypnosis course. If you want to put a link to that in the comment section, please do. Jason Nobby Morgan, I've done both, and what an experience. I don't know which is more of an experience, a fire walk, a glass walk, or spending the weekend in Wales with Jason. I believe we're going to be sharing a caravan, going super well and selling well. Fantastic. That is good news. It's one of the things I have promised myself at the beginning of lockdown, that I was going to write a book. But I have to incorporate within that process the fact that my English is terrible, my writing is terrible, and my ability to stick to structure of a schedule for writing a book is terrible. So it will get there eventually. But yeah, we are definitely due a coffee, Kaz. Going to podcast. Right, there we go. Guys, if you are interested in this, and you should be, especially if you tune in tonight for tonight's guest as well, the Sexual Freedom Hypnosis training for therapists is a fantastic tool to have in your toolbox. Glass is more in tune and thinking process. Glass is more in tune and thinking process. Yes. I think that's Welsh. I don't know. So yeah, so each week we're going to try and bring you different guests as well. I'd like to bring Kaz on because, you know, even though she is a therapist, she does understand the importance of performance and how that can benefit your business. So one week we will definitely get her on the show if you guys are happy with that as well. There's a couple of really big names as well that are floating around the outskirts that have said they want to come on but haven't yet committed yet. Next week, we've got a fantastic guest as well. We have a phenomenal female hypnotist. And I'm going to try and pronounce her last name now, and it never does me any good because I'm terrible with that. And it's Amy Charlau, I believe it is, or Charlou, Amy Charlau, who does a lot of the hypnosis stuff in kind of period costumes. Which looks really cool. So she'll be coming on next week. We will try, if we can't get Richard on tonight, we will try at some point to get him on in the future. We do have a backlog of list of names that we try to get on. Maybe I could come to a studio and then no, maybe I could. Absolutely. You're always welcome here. I'm just trying to think if it's definitely changed since you were last here. So anytime you want, Kaz, you get yourself down here. The kettle is always on. Something that Americans won't know, but I've made a transition today from PG Tips to Yorkshire tea. And I must admit, I'm quite impressed. So if you want a good brew, Yorkshire tea it is. Maybe interview Nat and then after her training so we can get a before and after. Bless her. Yes. She's not here tonight because I think she's out working tonight. It's one of the things our industry it does lack is female stage hypnotists, whether that's because it is a very ego-centric, very ego-heavy industry. I don't know, but some of the female hypnotists that we've had on have been phenomenal. I was commenting on a video from one of the guests last week. And speak of the devil, and she arrives. There we go, Natasha. Hey guys, sorry, I'm at work. There we go. See, she does work. Who'd have thought? The only person I know that works less than me. So yeah, it is a very male-heavy industry, especially the stage stuff, which is a shame because the female hypnotists that are out there are doing absolutely phenomenal. And I think they deliver suggestions in such a different way that there is less of a conflict between the volunteer on stage and the hypnotist. It doesn't become a challenge, whereas I have to be I try and be very authoritarian and direct to get my suggestions in. I think a feminine energy can deliver those suggestions in a more elegant way. Mariana de Leon Matthews is an awesome stage hypnotist. That is a name that is going onto my list right now. What I'll do is I will send her a request for the show straight after this show. One of the things, the issue that I've had with some people when I ask them to come on the show is because some of these people I'm not friends with on Facebook, my request ends up in their others folder. And then I get a message 6 months later going, sorry for ignoring your message. Jason Simmons, haha, I was watching and commenting on your video from last week before I realized it was an old recording. Yes, and even though this week is exactly the same as last week. So yeah, Jason. I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but Jason's just done a showcase, which is a really great way of getting his stuff out there, but very challenging to put on a performance in front of an audience within 10 minutes as well. And that's hypnotizing, getting phenomena, and getting rapport with the audience. Odd because hypnotherapist is a very female driven. Yeah, I think so. Again, because it's a more caring nature side of things, and I think sometimes when you're going for therapy, sometimes even though a direct approach may be needed, I think you do kind of want that kind of paternal, caring side rather than somebody shouting and screaming at you to put your feet together, make them touch, stare at the lights. Have we seen the thing on Netflix that's about to come out on hypnosis? That's going to be really interesting. Um, I think that's going to be really good for the stage hypnotists out there. I think for the hypnotherapists, there's a lot of those that I think will come out and think that it's quite a negative thing for the industry because it does look very dark. However, it's a great opportunity, and this is this is not business advice. This is just my opinion, but it's great opportunity for the hypnotherapists out there and the stage hypnotists to contact their local papers, to put blogs together, to put press releases out there talking about the other side of hypnosis. So it will get people talking about it, and the more it talks about how dark hypnosis is, the more opportunity we have as hypnotists to kind of show the positive side of hypnosis. So it will get people talking about hypnosis, and it brings it in the forefront again. So no doubt there'll be people on This Morning, no doubt there'll be people on radio shows talking about it, and that is a great way for us to promote what we do. Yeah, there we go. I think the new Netflix film will be good for the therapy business. Yes, I absolutely 100% agree. People, when they see hypnosis being used as a powerful tool in whatever sense, it is going to make them think, oh, if it can do that, then maybe it can help me with my tiny little issue thing that's been controlling me. So I think it's a good thing. No doubt there'll also be some hypnotherapists out there that think it's a terrible thing. But then that's the joy of this industry. We do have diversity with opinions as well. So yeah, we're 12 minutes in, which is quite good. One of the good things about these lives is it's taught me that I can waffle about nothing for ages. I've setting myself daily goals. I say setting myself. I'm in a small group where each morning we set ourselves goals of commitments for the day, and that's going really well at the moment. It's one of the best things I found for pushing my business forward. Cars, my phone rang off the hook when Darren Brown pushed people off a building. Yes. And some weirdos wanting to learn thinking they can control people. Absolutely. That's why we all learn, isn't it? Yeah. Like I said, it gets people talking about it because I think, especially with hypnotherapy, there has been over the years, there's been lots of hypnotherapy has been diluted. These are my opinions. Hypnotherapy has been diluted incredibly. And there's a lot of people that have been to see a therapist and don't know if they've been hypnotized. And so it takes away a lot of its power. And I think programs like this are going to kind of really ramp up that, people's belief in hypnosis and the opportunities that they can have for change. I think that's covering all bases when I say stuff. So I think you should, yeah. Do you know what, Natasha? You're right. And I think there's a lot of people within this industry that still think they can use this to control people. But yeah, I think that's what there's a weird cycle that you go through with hypnosis, or that I've gone through throughout my years in doing it. And every few years, you think you know more than what you do know. And I look back now and I think I wish I knew as much as what I thought I knew 3 years in, and I think the longer I've been within the industry, the more I kind of unlearn the stuff that we did know. Yes, absolutely. It's Bob Burns put it brilliantly. Hopefully, we're having Bob on soon at some point. That people worry about hypnosis as being control. I mean, that's why they come and see a hypnotist. They want someone that's going to go in there, take control, and fix the mess up. So yeah, and it's exactly the same on stage. When someone volunteers on stage, they don't want a very permissive kind of experience. They want that stage hypnotist to direct them to what to do and when to do it, rather than leaving an element of doubt of what is expected from the volunteer. You have to be clear with your communication, direct and authoritative with them, so that they know on the click of the fingers, this is what's expected, this is how they'll perform. And that's how you get more from them. I'm sure you have no problem without hypnosis. I'm sure you have no problem. I think that's at Kaz, not at me. So yeah, Again, we've got a suggestion for another hypnotist to come on the show, and we will. Yes, it's always interesting to kind of run these live shows and monitor the comment section as well. I think maybe I need a bigger screen sometimes, or maybe put my glasses on and not let vanity get in the way. Wherever you are in the world, how are shows looking for you as well? I'm starting to get some nice bookings coming in as well. Trying to get used to that traveling and being on the road again. But I've also been doing some speaking, kind of how hypnosis can help people within the business community as well, which is something I've always wanted to do, but kind of use the pandemic as an excuse to push more of that. And last week, I was very fortunate enough to speak on stage with one of my favourite motivational speakers, which was Brad Burton, the UK's #1 business speaker. So I got to share the stage with him, talk about how hypnosis can really benefit you in business. So that was a tick for my to-do list that I was quite pleased to have got done. So yes, so that's my waffling for 60 minutes. Anyone that is in local to Yorkshire, I've got a couple of shows coming up. One at the John Smith Stadium in Huddersfield and Ossett Town Hall in Wakefield. Both great shows. These are style shows as well. So a lot of times when I get a booking, I'm paid to appear. On these particular shows, I theme the venue, I dress the seats. You may have seen the videos where I make it look very purple. It's my show as such. You're definitely a firm favourite of mine, and I know a fair few up to now. That's definitely aimed at Kaz. So yes, no guests this week, apart from the guests that are in the comment section. Next week we have Amy Sharlu. I know I've probably said that wrong. I spoke to her yesterday. All is well. I will find out what's happened to Richard, and hopefully at some point we will try and get him back. But who knows? Like I say, we do have a list of some people that we've not been able to get on the show from technical issues, so we may have to revisit all them at some point. And we do have some great people. Get you on the projector tonight on Facebook. Get you on the projector tonight on Facebook. I don't know what that means. Get you on the projector tonight on Facebook. Yes. Right. So that is, Roy Miller's here. Hi, everybody. Sorry I missed it. Roy, you didn't miss anything. It was just me waffling again. Hopefully you're doing well, Roy. It was great to catch up with you a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully things are going well and you're smashing those parties and stuff you were talking about doing. So for me, I think that is it for this week. From next week, I'm going to have some stuff prepared in case we don't have guests. Now I've got you on the projector as I'm watching you on the big screen. I wish I'd have had my haircut now. Oh, you've got me on the projector on the big screen tonight on Facebook. Oh, thank you, Fraser. So from next week, I'm going to have some stuff in the bag for in case we don't have a guest. And what I'm going to do is the first part of the show, we're just going to do some kind of Q&A stuff and some stuff to help us as performers before we get our guest on as well. So that means every week we'll have some kind of good information that you guys can take away from this rather than just listening to me waffle on. So if you have any questions or anything, then don't hesitate to drop me a message and I'll try and incorporate the answer to that question in next week's show. So yeah, for next week onwards, that the first 5 minutes of the show is going to be kind of like top tips for performing hypnosis, whether you're a stage hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, and then we will bring our guest on as well. So then we're not too reliant if the guest can't make it. Why is it guest can't make it, or is it internet or time problems? A bit of everything. We've had some people with internet issues. Last week, I believed it was a time problem, but then I actually got him on at 9 o'clock. But then there was a problem with his microphone that wasn't coming through. I don't know what's happened this week. I know Richard is a great guy, and I've spoken to him a few times during the week. He is a great guy, so there will be a reason why he's not here. So it's not just a negative in that sense. So, guys, that's it for me this week. I shall see you next week. And yeah, take care and thank you very much.